Hello everyone, and welcome back now for another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Survival. It's taking a little bit of bother getting started today because for some reason the stream just didn't want to actually send the data properly, but never mind. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance around the base, and then we're going to hop over to the Redstone testing world. And we're going to try and fix one of our larger designs as well, because there's been some updates in Bedrock that have caused technical issues with the Bedrock version. But we'll fly on down and we're going to have a little look down in the sorting system and see if it's crashed this week. But as we're going, anything that you see that you want me to point out or have a closer look, just give me a shout. Just one thing I like about Bedrock, look at the massive render distance that we have here. Zoom on down into the central storage area. See these massive chambers? You'll like this, Nova. This was all carved out by hand as well. There we go. At the bottom of our massive storage system, we have this here, which is like the overspill, and anything that lands in here is stuff that hasn't been sorted or that is actually glitched. So I'll just grab all this junk out of here. And what we do as well is we don't sort beacons, so we use beacons to find out whether or not the system's working. So I drop that in there. That'll get fed all the way upstairs eventually. There it goes. So we'll launch that all the way up here. And then that goes into here, which is the item regulator for the storage system. Without this regulator, actually I'll probably turn off some of that clicking. It's a very musical bass that we've got on here. Where's the audio? Let's drop that down a little bit. I'm assuming that everyone can actually hear all this as well, that I haven't started and not turned the microphone on again. That's what I'm saying. That will go through the regulator, it gets put into here, and this is the upper chamber of the storage system. The actual storage system itself is these floors down here. There's 7 double chests for every single item, and since I made the massive expansion, I still haven't actually filled up all the other floors. Oh, thanks, Nova. I've just seen there you're hosting the stream there. I've actually done that on your stream as well there. So the past 2 weeks, I think it's been flashing up with yours. But anyway, as I was saying, we've got the storage system goes across here and across there. It'll take about 5 or 10 minutes for that beacon to reach all the way to the bottom, and then from there, as long as it makes it there, we know that the system's actually worked. In theory. Having trouble taking off. Let's just zoom out of here and we'll do a quick check on the slime farm. Because ever since the Village and Pillager update, slime farming on Bedrock has been an absolute nightmare. Ooh, that was close. I think, Creeper, there's something like 4,000 and odd chests in there. Somewhere on the actual, there's like another episode where I actually have it all counted out. But yeah, there's something like 4,000 odd chests in that storage system. Yeah, and this light's off, which means that there's been no slime through the system. So that's, I don't know what's been going on with it as well. Actually, hang on. Yeah, I thought so. There's like a massive bug in this version of Bedrock that's causing the minecarts to disappear when it crashes, and unfortunately this version of Bedrock is crashing all the time. We probably will experience maybe 1 or 2 crashes while we're actually playing. It seems to say that it's running out of storage space and memory. It isn't. It's just a glitch that's been in this version of Bedrock. Have a look in here as well. there's two of these massive chambers that I've dug out. This one was half done with TNT, but the one on the other side, let's have some wheat. There's an identical chamber to this on the other side, and that one was done completely by hand. And these red blocks here, this marks out actually 2 more slime chunks, because we had massive problems with slime bouncing around all the base. Now here's the other chamber. This one was done completely by hand. Am I out of rockets? Nope, still got plenty. At some point I'm going to build a potion factory inside of there. That can't be the beacon back already. Nope, but yellow wool. Right, we'll go upstairs and we'll do some maintenance on the wool lines in case there is something gone wrong with them. Let's try that again. And get off at the wool floor. So yellow wool, and right, there's some green blocks in here. Right, so there's something gone wrong with the sorters above here. Start with the yellow. And the yellow's got green. Occasionally this happens just when the game glitches out when it gets to chunks. That's part of the reason as well why we have the regulator valve. Green, blue. Yeah, it looks like it's alright. It looks like it's just that one there that glitched. Let's just check and make sure. None of these. No, I think those are alright. I think it was just that one that glitched out, but that should be alright now. Let's fly back upstairs and we'll get rid of some of this excess junk. This is the main chamber of my base, so you know, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bells and all that stuff when this video eventually goes out onto YouTube. Actually, we'll sleep whilst we're here as well. Oh, Creeper, if you go onto the Microsoft Store, you should be able to re-download it as long as you're using the same Microsoft account. It should let you re-download Bedrock again, because it's like an app that runs through their store. Right, anyway, where shall I stick this junk for now? Right, I'll put all this excess stuff in here for the minute. Right, that wool can go back into sorting. Are these filters? Alright, they're honey block filters, that's why they landed in the wrong place. We'll take the wool. That's another one. There is all over the base, you'll see these little red shulkers everywhere. The red shulkers are connected to the storage system. So if we come back down here, every single level of the storage system has one of these, and they just eventually feed back into the storage system. There's lights above here as well, and every time an item is sorted into storage, the light will flash, and if the system is full, as in there's stuff in the 7th double chest, the light will stay on constantly. Let's have a spy in here now. This is our massive kelp chamber. So it's 50 long. There's about, what, 7 levels or so in there. But there's like 600 or more kelp in here. There is a problem though with the current version of Bedrock, is that this has been quite nerfed. Let's just go into the night vision shower. There we go. You can just see all the levels in there. But I'm quite pleased that we don't really have so much of an issue with kelp, because the kelp farms are all automatic here. We have a kelp buffer which has 78,000 kelp that goes down there and then comes up to the top here. And you see as well, this splits into 2 parts. One, it goes into the super smelter, so if we need fuel, and the other one comes into here, this like overspill line, and we can get some compost out of it. And then of course this lever here, if I want to store bone meal from the composters, or if I want bamboo from the bamboo station downstairs. So let's hop out here. So we moved the bamboo farm from the surface and popped it down here. And that's just on here, as well as there's shulker boxes here for loading things into storage, absolutely scattered all over the place. Let's see if we can zoom back out. Now I can hear that buzzing actually back downstairs, so the beacon might be back, which means that the rest of the storage system is working properly if it is. Yep, the beacon's back, and we've got some yellow wool and some glass bottles. Right, let's investigate the glass bottles line. That's on the second floor. Yeah, down here. So glass bottles, that looks fine. Let's check the upper levels. These levels here still aren't technically complete because I haven't put the ceilings in with all the lights and what have you. No glass bottles are in there. We've got all the honeys and what have you are in there. Actually, we should probably, as part of the maintenance that we're doing around here, we'll go over to the honey farm and we will put some more glass bottles in because it must be juicing by now. Anyway, so let me first. Actually, we'll nip and get some food before we go to the go there. Food's on this floor. Right, so we'll take that in there. You see here, this is our apiary with all the bees in. But we need to go underneath, and to get to underneath we need to use one of the access tunnels. And there's little access doors all over the place to the tunnels. We'll just head over here to the closest one. This of course as well used to be the old style iron farms, but now it's just a villager penitentiary. I can't actually use any of these villages for trading because whilst I was moving some of the other doors, well, I accidentally hit one of them and then they told all their friends, so now I get really bad trades off all of them. One's escaped from prison. Let's go down here. This line here as well goes from what was the iron farm all the way back into central storage. And here it is. This particular corridor is new because we've only had the honey farm for a little while. But, I'll get these corridors all a bit widened out at some stage. But this is underneath the bees. We'll see if we need. Nah, I don't think we really actually need to. Just looking at a random sample, I don't actually think we need to restock these bottles just yet. I think this will probably do me for another few weeks. But I do have plenty of bottles on hand. Alright, let's get back out of here. And whilst we're over this way, we'll do a potato harvest because that is just up here. Was this where I hide all my nether wart inside of here? This is actually, I've been doing this world here now for what must be 2.5 to 3 years I've been living in this world. And this is still like, this is one of the early farms because I've never actually upgraded it because it's functional, it does the job. And while they go down there, let's clear a little bit of inventory space. Just got to wait for these stragglers to get caught up by the water. Slowly moving. That must be nearly all done by now. Shut the water off. and we'll start planting the next harvest. No, there is no custom skin in this one, because in the previous version of Bedrock, I was having loads of difficulties logging in, and it kept on resetting the skin. So in the end, I was just like, oh, forget it, I'll just use the default skin. Because it was previously I had the Skyrim skin on, but as I say, it just kept on causing more trouble than it was worth. Get these ones planted up. If there's anything as well as I'm going around that you want to have a closer look at or an explanation of, just give a shout out. Trying to keep darting my eyes back and forth up to the chat just to see what's going on when I remember. And the last couple of these. Take those out of there because the hopper will take ages. What I tend to do is when I've harvested this is I'll go up here and I'll put 4 stacks up here and the hoe back, because that's enough then to cover the next time that I do it, and all of that of course all gets funneled down here. And what I'll do is I'll take a few of those out, but you see the rest of it all can be flushed down to base. So if I flick that lever, because there's a mechanic in Bedrock which you Java guys won't have, and that is that we can move items that have storage in. So I can move a hopper across here to drain that chest. You see here, these items now are being sent down to base to be stored away. See, they're getting launched down here, and we'll just follow the waterway down. It's a long corridor. Yep, you Java guys, that's right. Oh, are these empty? Yeah. What we've got here is, let's get a pick. When I've been out mining, I have these little, this is the shulker plugs. So I just simply load up the shulker boxes and then just dump them here, and then they eventually get filtered into central storage. So I'll just break those, and eventually I'll pick up those shulker boxes somewhere in the system. We've got a handful of potatoes, so we might as well go across to the furnace room. And let's see, everything is all active. Let's just dump all of that in there. You can hear that very musical bass that we have here, so that when I'm working on other things I can tell by the sound what systems are actually active and turned on. Hopefully this will all light up. There we go, got one side lit up anyway. There's a lot of hoppers in this build as well. This sort of line here, that comes back from where that bamboo bond was that we were out on before. And then of course all this goes through underneath that central chamber into storage. There is like a small cut off as well for this room here, which is for the bamboo lines. Sorry, the kelp lines, because this is the kelp store. So what happens is I use fuel from there, and I take it, and I've actually got tons of it. I've actually compressed it all into here. But as I take fuel out of here, if I take it out here, that will send a signal to the smelter to open up the kelp buffer lines, and the kelp buffer will then drain into the super smelter to replenish what I've taken out. And if it then takes out more than what was in the kelp buffer, the kelp farm, so when this one here goes out, the kelp farm will then turn back on. So I can simulate that if I just grab that out of there. There you go, you see that the kelp farm is actually turned on. Of course I should have gone into the night vision shower first. There we go. So you can see there the kelp farm has been turned back on, and once that's been replenished, so I'll pop that back in there, the kelp farm will then turn back off. Just saves on a bit of lag on the system. let's head on up here. We might as well harvest some of the other bits and bobs whilst we're up here. So we'll grab a couple of lots of seeds. This was actually the very first farm that I built in this world. Was this little concrete structure here, a concrete cobble structure even. Just nice and simple. Clear these, and it puts a bit more stock into the system. Grab one of them. Plant up a bit more of this. There we go. And I'll just put the excess in there. And toss that down there, and that follows the waterways back down to the base, which then of course leads into the central storage area. This little patch here where this drain is as well used to be the bamboo farm. Rather than seal it up, I just left the little drainage covers over them. Let's hop down here, and you hear there as well all the buzzers and that in the background is all the different things are slowly coming through the waterways and landing in here. Is it light enough to... No, not yet. Right, we'll go down to the lower levels because I think I can hear something on the bottom floor. Yep, sounds like something else has come through. So our white wool and light grey wool has glitched out. Right, let's go and check the upper levels to see if those ones have crashed. Of course, we stopped here, didn't we, at the dark grey? Nope, must have just been a chunk glitch. That, or it was in the loop before we actually fixed the other line. Because it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for items to actually go through the entire sorting system before it all gets chucked out at the bottom. Right, so for the next one, I'm going to head over to some of our various farms that are in the outside, and see whether or not those have glitched out in the when the system's crashed. Now, because this one uses minecarts, we'll see whether or not the minecart in here has vanished. Nope, that one's still on the go. Not as an efficient wool farm as the wool farm that we have on the Craftcast server. Just because we just need a passive one. And that's all this one is. There's only one sheep per colour. We'll head on over to the spider farm, which is, I think the doorway is just beneath here. Yeah, it's on that little ridge there, isn't it? Haven't been here for ages to check on it. But it uses minecarts, so it's possibly that it's broken as well. There we go. Got a nice glass roof in here as well, so you can see when there are actually spiders spawning. There we go, we can hear them coming in. You get a choice with this one whether or not you want to get them with the just let the lava kill them, or we can take them out with our sword as well. But spider farms are pretty much useless as XP farms. Let's just lock that off for a moment. Hasn't been collected. Yeah, things have been collected, that's alright then. And everything else will go back down to storage, so at least that one hasn't broken. Actually, let's put this wool in here and the string, and eventually all that stuff will filter its way back to into the main storage area. I've got 12 rockets left. That should be enough to get over to the skeleton farm. Yeah, everything seems normal over here. I say, with the amount of bugs that have been in this particular version of Bedrock, I'm having to sort of run around maintenance on all of them on a regular basis. This here as well, this was from one of, I think maybe it was episode 2 or 3, where I found out that you don't actually need, you get away with flowing water blocks for the beacons. You don't actually need source blocks around it. See if we can get into one of these balloons. I made them in one of the episodes, and these actually, when I rebuilt the storage system, these ones have, if I can land on there, these ones have little secret chambers inside of them, and this is where I keep 3 years worth of diamonds. So imagine if we had this on the old Cosmic server. So we've got this entire chamber here full of diamonds. The middle one is full of gold blocks and the top one is full of emerald blocks. Or it could be the other way around. Anyway, we'll head over now to the redstone testing warehouse and I'll see if there was anything still left to tidy up or fix over here. Actually, just thinking about it, this is actually for a future episode on the Bedrock Survival series. What we've got in here is the cow farms. Oh, you have to tell your brother he's mistaken because that Dr. Raven isn't that cool bloke, no. See, we've managed to gather plenty beehives there. Ah yeah, I knew there was a box of junk somewhere around here. See, I'll keep some of that there. I can go into the smelter, those can be dropped. The buckets I'll keep here. Iron, we need to actually solve the iron problem. Because since this has... since this no longer works, I still haven't built an iron farm in this world. And I think our resources in iron are actually dwindling. Let's head back over to storage and see how much iron we've got left. You've got all the storage upstairs, but when I rearranged it, I still haven't actually moved all of this. We've still got a fair bit. We could probably compress that into one shulker box though, to be honest. So that's all the iron we've got left. And then we've got some quartz here. So this is the last of the iron. But we don't actually, think about it, we probably have enough in the way of redstone resources. Yeah, I mean, I'm still good for hoppers and for comparators. I have at least 3 double chests. Let's grab some more rockets. I tell you what, we'll stick the beacon back in there because that's going to go downstairs as well. Anyway, we'll head back over to the testing warehouse. And as I was saying, this is going to be a future episode, but it's going to have to be a cross episode between Bedrock and Java. Normally with this on Java, we would climb up and we would breed the cows. Yeah, I do have some bamboo here. would be up here, and you breed the cows and the babies would drop down, which is exactly what you want, except for when you're first loading it with the actual cows the first time. In Java, you can close these and the babies won't drop down, but here in Bedrock, the babies will drop down regardless. So in Bedrock, you'll have to have the cows bred outside of the machine and then led into it to be the upper level cows, whereas in Java you could just put 2 in there and that's your way. You can start the farm, but I'll cover it in like more detail in an actual full episode once I've actually counted how many blocks this actually is, because I just filled my inventory with junk. Actually, was there any other chests in here? There's a broken shulker box somewhere, and I can't remember where it is. It's another glitch that's occurred between the versions, because the bees have something has been changed in the code for them, like for the data of how many bees are stored in them, and it has actually broken a shulker box where I can't actually touch the inventory in it, and I can't actually put that shulker in a chest. I don't know entirely what I'm going to do with it, other than I might just throw it into the fire. That'll probably just be get rid of the beehives entirely. Anyway, let's head on over here. And we'll do one last bit of maintenance over here. Then I think we might go over to the redstone testing world and see if we can solve an issue which has been caused by the changes in the redstone mechanics. Yeah, this one's working fine, alright. All of this as well is all filtered into central storage, so all of these farms travel across. And this here is a little gazebo with this little box here, that anything that gets thrown into there will find its way again into that massive storage system. So this is up here. So I don't know if you guys want to have a look at anything in particular on here. If there's anything that, as I've been zooming around, has spotted anything that that you'd like to take a closer look at or have a little explanation of. Actually, let's have a quick look inside of this. Well, actually, we can't look in this part of the hut. We'll have to go downstairs, won't we? Yeah, let's zoom down here and see whether or not this has still got plenty of minecarts in it. Yeah, it's still got plenty of minecarts in it. Oh, yeah. Really difficultly taking off at the minute. I wonder if there's a bit of lag because we're doing the stream maybe. I had quite a bit of technical issues at the start. When I did a test this afternoon, it worked perfectly going between Twitch and YouTube, and then when I fired it up today, YouTube just refused to take the stream at all. So I had to restart the stream about half a dozen times there to try to flick YouTube on and off, and then eventually just gave up, and we'll just stick to Twitch until I have a chance to have a look at it again. Explain what the word no means. Someone causing bother at your place. So your brother's all misbehaving. Food again. I think whenever you stream Nova, it would probably be best if you tied your brother up in another room until you finish streaming. That would probably be the best way to go. Thinking about tearing this down actually as well when I think about it. I built this based off a picture I'd seen when I first started this world. And as I've sort of developed more things in the world, I just really don't like it. We have loads of portals around here to get to get back and forth into the Nether and do all these different builds, because we've got a portal there. There's a portal underneath in the main chamber. If I go down here. So this is like the main chamber. This was originally where I started, and I came down here at this little bit when I was mining, like the first couple of nights in the world. And at first I started with just like a couple of blocks, and then slowly moved it back and back, and so on and so forth until I got all the way to the back there. Similar to what I sort of like started with the when we started on the Craftcast server, that little hole in the side of the hill. Just took it back, and then as we needed more space, just move it back a few more blocks and a few more blocks, until eventually we'll probably get through to the other side of that wall. But through here, this has been on my to-do list for 2 years. This is supposed to be like my bedroom sort of area, but I just cannot decide what I want to build in here. So at the minute I'm storing all the dogs and the cats that I accumulated for the achievement. I actually think I might deploy these cats around the base. But in here as well we have a nether portal. Because of the proximity of the nether portals as well, they keep on going out, so I have auto reigniters. If you stand on this one here, it will reignite this one, because sometimes when you go through to the nether, actually we might as well step through. Oh crikey. Mr. Meeseeks just doesn't know when to give up, does he? How many of them have walked through the portal? Escaped prisoners. Whilst we're here, let's have a little wander on. This is the Lazy Blazy Express. And we'll just zoom along here. You have to tell him he's not supposed to be able to walk when you tied him up. So along here anyway is an old style blaze farm, and it's the Lazy Blazy Express because you come along here and then you can jump between minecarts. What we do is we sit in this minecart up here and we wait for the blazes to spawn. See if we can get one. Anytime now. There's like a little enchanting setup is here, because this until I built the skeleton farm, this was my main source of XP. But you have to wait up here for the blazes to spawn, like that. And then once I've done that a few times, you ride the train down here, where you can kill them. Actually, where we will lock them in first of all. So kill them. Get the blaze rods and the XP, open up the shaft, and then we can go back and repeat the process. And it means we don't actually have to move at all. We just have to have the mouse. And then when we're all done, change minecarts and back on the Lazy Blazy Express. These corridors as well take us to mining areas. There's a rule in my Bedrock world. I'm not allowed to destroy the landscape within range of the base, so all of my mining is conducted miles away. All in all, some of the other biomes. Where shall we go? And we'll go to the temple. Let's go into the main base again. In your own time. Here we go. Oh no, one of the prisoners have escaped in here. Yeah, I can't have them in here. Can't remember what I came in here for now. So anyway, this as I said, this is you know, my Bedrock survival world. Is there anything else that you guys here want to see before we go and do some redstone work? I just fly up here. If there's anything that you want to take a closer look at, or any sort of explanation or anything like that. Ooh, without falling down. Let's just go back up to the top of the super tower. And we're down. So this is pretty much the entire base. No, the main parts anyway. There is a train line that runs off here. That's to do with, well, until I was invited to join the Cosmic server, that was actually part of a massive build that I was working on. But the only thing I've managed to do so far is get the train line running to it and make a massive flat area. And if you go like 4,000 blocks in that direction, there's a little island where I'm making a like a game show that I was working on. Same again, when I was asked to join Cosmic, these missions sort of got put on one side. Not on this world. No, there isn't any Skyrim sort of like style ones on here. That was just I did that one in the Java world. In this world, it's just like, you know, these boring sorts of structures. Here's what we've got here. Most of the base here is all underground. If we zoom down here a bit. We'll get off on this level here. Because one bit I can show you, sort of show you anyway, for how big some of this underground goes. You see these little red marks here, these are to mark off where slime chunks are. That trapdoor at the top there as well, that's underneath that main chamber in the base. And if I head up, or attempt to head up here, this mine shaft here, this one here goes about 8,000 blocks in that direction, goes under the oceans and dozens of other biomes. And this is that's how one of the reasons I have ridiculous sums of enchanted apples and all the diamonds and emeralds and everything. It's all because of this massive mine shaft that just goes on and on forever. Really kind of wish I'd done this at 3 height, because it gets a bit frustrating to move. Yep, and we're out of food. Right, I think what we'll do now though is we will head on up to the Stargate and we will go through to the Bedrock Redstone testing world and see if we can fix the train lines. Yeah, this will be the best way to go. Right, so got to dial the gate as well so that we can make it through to the Redstone testing world. There it goes. Right then, I'll see you all in a minute when we get to the Redstone testing world.
1, 2, 1, 2. Don't stop. I'm on fire. 1, 2, 1, 2. I love you. No. 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't stop. I'm on fire. 1, 2, 1, 2. I love you.
There we go, nice quick trip there through the Redstone testing world. There's not actually that much really in the Redstone testing world that I have here on Bedrock, because most of my testing is actually done in survival. I do them actually live in the real world. But before we have a look at the train tracks, I'll give you a quick run around of the different odds and ends that I've got built in here. This machine here is a double chest emptier. When a double chest is completely full, because this was originally for the kelp farm, it will flush all of the items out of there in like under a minute. It can clear a double chest. But I'm trying to work on a better, more better engineered version of it, and trying to compact it down a little bit. But that's a work in progress. I know the bulkier one works perfectly, but I'm just trying to make it like a more streamlined version. Over here is the things that I'm doing in preparation for Achievement Park. So these will be sort of like some of the modules. So you'll join the server and you'll be able to get the Xbox achievement. The information will be laid out here for what you've got to craft, for example, and the things will be in here for you to craft. And this represents all of like the available crafting achievements. Over here is like an example module of the cooking one, so you'll have the information as well. That'll be on there. But these are kind of a long way off at the moment. And you see here that's the example of a cover stone that we used for one of the set pieces. If you ignore the lights that I used for measurements, this is my Jurassic Park gate. That was going to be the gate to Achievement Park. I have the train lines here as well, where I sort of mocked up sort of versions of what they would look like. I don't think I actually went with these blocks here in the final one though. Go across here. These are some of the various farms I've been experimenting on, like mini kelp farms and such. We have the wool farms as well. This is an example of a 2x2 starter home with an extension, and it's in the cross-section style like what you get in the actual episode. I don't know off the top of my head what actual number episode that one is though. This one here is one of my favourite creations because this counts in binary. So I tap that, we get 1. Tap that is 2 in binary, so that would be 0, 1, then 0, 0, 0. Tap that again, so then it's 2 plus 1, so that's 3. And then if we tap it again, we get 4, and that changes to there, and so on and so forth. Let's just reset this now. Wait for that to cycle through. And then of course we have over here the finished version, which was more compact. I say more compact, you've seen the size of this thing. And this sort of crazy mechanism here is this is actually for counting stacks. So you have stacks of items that are flowing in here, and every time one stack passes through, it will add 1 in the binary format. And you see as well, we've got my variable pulse extender design and all that's here as well. But I did do a full episode on these ones. This large bit here was actually for I did an episode where I was just it was just like a 2-minute one where it was just simply the numbers counting up. And this long thing here was I flicked it on, and it was to give me time to then come up here and align the camera and start recording. So by the time it slowly ticked through all of those, I was ready to go. You see there as well, that's the example of the bee farm, or the honey farm even. An example of a mob spawner, so you can count the number of blocks and see it working. And here we are, the experiments on the rail track. So like these ones here, I was trying to create a system that had to return the tickets so that you could be parceled off anywhere on the network. And this monstrosity here was the very first design that I came up with. And you put your ticket in there, and then the minecart spits out, and you would get taken to your station. This only worked though in one direction, and it was ridiculously cumbersome. And as you can see here, it is ludicrously over-engineered. So, after a great deal of experimentation, I came up with these methods. And if we fly over here, this is the master prototype, is this bit here. And the way this works is this is like an example of a station. You'd be in this minecart, you put your ticket in there, then you get launched through the system, and you go through this sorter, and then the correct track is selected for you, depending on where you need to go. And then you got that, the station for there, and here's where you get chucked out. However, in the latest version of Bedrock, the redstone has been changed. Let's go and right, let's get all this junk out my inventory here. There we go. We'll go and grab a couple of tickets. up to platform 7. Right, you see the number of lights that are on each of these, so yeah, we'll just use number 5 as the example because it's not too far. And, I'll show you what's actually happened, which is causing an issue, and then I'm going to see if I can correct it. So put this in here. There goes the hopper minecart with your ticket in. And then this is the problem, that now we're getting double the amount of minecarts. Hopefully I put that back in the right place. So we need now to figure out what's going wrong with that, which is causing that to be powered longer than it should be. Do I have any more minecarts? Yes, I do. Pop that one in there, and pop that one in there. So that's powering that one there, which is, there's no timer on that one. I wonder if this is actually going to be far simpler than what I'm thinking. This might not actually be as big a mission as what I thought it would be. Because that was powering that, which was triggering that, which was then Bud powering the track, which was then causing it to launch. But by moving that back, we now have power won't go any further. Right, let's drop a ticket in actually and see what happens. And it's that stationary. Oh well. I thought that fix was going to take longer than than what I thought. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just stick that there. Stick that in there. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3. We need 3 extra delay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh yeah, we need to put another minecart in there, don't we? Right, let's drop a number 3 in there. Oh. Oh well, that's worked out better than what I thought. I'll show you this in the, where we're actually going to go. We were looking at number 5 to it. I'll grab a number 5 ticket. And you can see this in operation. We'll actually sit in it. So we come in here, you have your ticket, you throw it in here. And go through here. The track's selected for you. And we want to end up at that station there, number 5. So we'll come back down into the sorter. And here we are at platform number 5. Now I have seen, like other people do, player minecart selectors, and they are massively bulky, and there's usually an individual line that has to go all the way out to like each place, whereas with this you simply have the 2 tracks between the place, and this little sorting mechanism here just aligns you onto the correct track. Just fly underneath here. You see, all this is just a basic item sorter, and it gives the ticket a chance to come back where it gets repicked up, and it heads onto the station ahead of you. And to my knowledge, this has not been done by anyone else, because I really wish this actual video where I discussed this actually had more views. Because as I say, to my knowledge, nothing like this has actually been done anywhere. Because this was actually originally, it was Rendog that inspired me to build this crazy structure. Because when he started his HRN network, I wanted to, well, I was assuming that they were going to build some sort of fancy redstone mechanism, but instead they just had a crossroads with buttons on. And this was also what I wanted to build on the Cosmic server, which is why I mapped out everywhere. And I put all of the, you know, I had a spreadsheet of all the coordinates because I was calculating the routes that these would take so that I could program the little brain down here of the system. That would sort the tickets out. So like from the hub, you could buy a ticket. It would take you, like say, all the way to Creeper's base. It would take you to like Nova's base. You know, you would have a little station next to your place, and you know, you could get in there, and then you could ride it all the way to the Ravenholm farm shop, you know, to buy all your junk. It was going to be like an overworld thing, because I know obviously you can get there quicker than ever, but I wanted to do it in the overworld, just so that you could look at the scenery as you went. But looking at that though, I think that is actually going to be the only thing I'm going to have to fix. I thought it was going to take a lot longer to solve this problem, but instead we've solved the redstone glitch in just a few seconds. And just by doing that. I'm going to replace these on the master template though. One, two, three. Take care of that one, and oh yeah, I'm getting you over here as well, don't I? And on the master station. Full delay on there gives you a better chance with a full delay to get away from the station. That's on there, and I think that's the last one to do, isn't there? Right, other way. And oh yeah, of course. One there, and that's back to where we started. So that's the master template repaired. So so that's it for the fix of that. I thought it was probably going to take about 20-25 minutes to figure out what was wrong with that, if not longer. We've solved the redstone mystery in just a brief minute. Oh well. Might as well tidy up this one a little bit. I'll not do it on stream going around all of these different stations because that'll just take absolutely ages. But you know, hopefully maybe on the Craftcast server we can maybe build this sort of rail network. I think this will be quite fun for going, especially since that we've got the large biomes, because that'll take you know, take ages to cross. We should have enough. Actually, we'll maybe just get a cobble generator built in there at some point soon, just so we have that that extra supply of cobble. But well, is there anything else? I don't suppose if there's anything else that you guys want to have a look at on here, anything that's caught your eye, or anything that you want to have a closer look at or a better explanation of, anything to do with like the rail network or any of these other little weird builds that I've got scattered all over the place, just let us know in the comments there, or the chat even. This one here is actually, this is the return mechanism for the that take you to Achievement Park. So in the survival world, you zoom down here, and when you flick this button, minecart is sent back up to collect the next passenger that's taking you to the park. Oh, where was that other build? Ah, right, I think it's actually at the top. Zoom up here a little bit. See, when the Villager and Pillager update came out, I tried experimenting with different types of iron farms, but the one that I use on, like in the Java worlds, is the most efficient one that I've designed that I've come up with so far. A little bit up here. I'm trying to think, what on earth was I experimenting with here? Oh yeah, they're timing circuits, aren't they? Yeah. This is when I was experimenting with the regulator for the storage system, getting these different clock speeds in, and also as well to run this item regulator, because this is a slower regulator than what's in the survival world, and that just regulates the items going through here a little bit slower, so that the system can count them every time with this ridiculous mechanism. Let's flick this on. And you see there it all starts pulsating, and that's simulating as if a stack is actually being counted across. Click that back there. Put the reset back on. The reset for this was quite complicated because you have to make sure the items go back there and then make sure that this is ready to go. So once this other timer here runs out, this red block here will then get dropped back down. Anyway, I think, well, since we've actually solved that mystery there a lot quicker than what I thought it was going to be, we've done a little bit of a tidy up in the base. Unless there's anything else that anyone particular wants to have a look at, I think we'll probably call this a day here. And, you know, I can head off back to the survival world. So unless there's anything else anyone wants to see, don't forget to rate, comment, favourite and subscribe. The Discord links are in the description below. Also links to both Creepers, Novas and Chrissy's channels as well. Everyone should go and check those out. But I hope you've enjoyed that there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.